Hello everyone and welcome to Harv's World, where we are learning about bale handling. This is a by request beginner's tutorial from Velma Reed, who asked if I wouldn't do a video about how to handle bales. So here we go. Now there are two types you should know by now, round bales and square bales. I'll tell you right up front, I personally find square bales much easier to work with. But there's nothing wrong with round bales. They do the job. They're just a little bit harder to stack and move. So I start all of my new players off with the big bag handler. That's what I've got on the front of this tractor right now. I also have put the weight on the back of this tractor because, well, if you start handling more than a couple bales, that weight gets significant and you could have some tipping issues, so the weight helps to counterbalance. Now, if you're using the big bag handler, this works well for moving bales. You just pull up to your bale like so, hit your straps, Bob's your uncle. You've got a bale. You can move it anywhere you want, drop it wherever you want. In fact, this works so well that you can pull this bale right up to the next one, like so. Come on, get her up there. That's close enough. Drop it down. Center yourself. Oh, I'm getting a little squirrely. Come on, Harv. There we go. And there we go. We've got two. Now, one thing I'm going to say right up front is, picking up and moving a single bale is no big deal. It's pretty straightforward. It's fairly simple. And I'll do this on square bales too, just so you can see. And the big bag handler is actually powerful enough that it should manage all four bales at the same time. But anyway, moving bales around one at a time isn't the biggest challenge. But learning to stack bales, especially if you want to stack them on a trailer or a flatbed, or just stack them in a barn, there's only one way to do that. It's the same way you get to Carnegie Hall. Practice, man, practice. Yeah, see, the big bag handler will grab four bales just like that. Bob's your uncle. I can take these wherever I want, stack them wherever I want. I could lift them up and load them onto a trailer, but you see how tippy we're getting because of the weight on there. Now, round bales can be a little bit trickier than square bales simply because, simply because they like to roll. Now, one thing that you can do if you would prefer to not have roly-poly bales is you can bring up your big bag handler up to a bale like so. Tip your forks down into it and start sliding backwards like this. And you can tip the bale on its side. Now it won't roll, and you can still pick it up with the big bag handler, like so. Okay, well, that's round bales. I'll show you some square bales, and then I'm going to show you some alternative options. Alternative options, Harv. Yeah, I've got a stack right there I was playing with earlier just to get my ducks in a row before I started recording. But here I've got a whole bunch of square bales on this field. Again, my big bag handler will grab this square bale. No problem. Heck, I could even pull it right up in front of this next one, like so. Drop it. Square up a little bit. Hit the straps. Now it'll pick up two. Or I can stack them, which is what I did earlier. I could stack them up into a taller stack and move them that way. I can even do this from the side on a square bale. I should say you can do this from the side on a square bale. Easy peasy. Now if I want to build this stack up, I can just swing up here And again, this is a very much a matter of practice. And I'll tell you right now, I am not the best bale handler on the planet. I've seen some guys who do amazing things picking up and moving bales one at a time, or you know, in whatever fashion they choose to do it. I've seen some folks who really have a handle on managing these tools and how they affect the bales and how the bales are going to act. And they really have a handle on it. But, you know, hours and hours of practice is what it boils down to. And we're going to get super tippy again, but you see the point right there. Now we've got 4 bales on the move, and that's just with the big bag handler. This is one of the most versatile tools in Farm Sim, in my opinion. It comes from the CSZ pack, or CSZ, if you are from across the pond, as they say. Now I've come back in very quickly to add something to this video that I want you to know. The schmetterling. Do not use this piece of equipment. I know I took a contract where I was using these on my Ravenport walkthrough for beginners. That was probably a mistake because frankly these things are a bloody nightmare. I picked one up just to show you. You can unfold it like so. The idea is that you're backing up. I could actually have this on the front too, but I would lower it down to the ground, and you want to try to slide the forks into or between the edges of a round bale. I got lucky on this one. I can pick this up. I can tip it. This round bale is not going to stay on this thing worth a darn. It's going to start getting squirrely. It's going to start wanting to fall off. It's going to start wanting to do its own thing. And what's worse is when you go to get that second round bale, you have to put the first one back on the ground so it gets even squirrelier. You can see how that round bale is just bouncing every little thing. I mean, you know, it's not like the brown bale has weight or anything. But the general idea is lower it back down to the ground like so. And then you slide backwards to pick up your second bale. And hope, just hope, that you're in line. I got lucky on this one. Once you've got them both, you fold it back up, like so. Lift it off the ground. Now, once you're able to fold these in, they do get locked into place. The bales aren't going anywhere, but getting used to loading these can be a real headache. Now, I have pulled just a couple other tools out just to show you what they do and how they work. It might be something that works better for you. I mean, just because one tool works for me doesn't mean it's the best tool for you. You might find something that you like a lot better. Although the big bag handler is kind of universally loved at this point. Now, this is just a standard bale spike. It comes from the base game. Bale spikes work okay. They work just fine. But you're not going to move a lot of bales very quickly, and they can get a little bit squirrely on you. But the bale spike will work for round bales. You just fork right into it, pick it up. Tipping it back is always the best option. And then you can move it around. With bale spikes, you can pick up 2 at a time. Getting them off the spikes is actually harder than getting them on sometimes. But you can spike 2 bales at the same time if they're side by side, like so. If I get lined up properly anyway. There we go. 2 at a time. So The bale spikes aren't bad. They're not bad at all. They wouldn't be my go-to, but hey, if it makes it easier for you, then by all means go for it. Now, all of these tools are found under front loader equipment. The ones that go on the front loader. I've had some issues with people buying the wrong version because these tools are duplicated for each piece of equipment that you have. Like my telehandler, for existence, they have their own version because they have their own attacher. Now this is a multi-bale spike that also comes from the CSZ pack. It has a function, it's got a gripper on it. This is generally considered for managing bale stacks, or if you were stacking bales. And like I've got my stack of 3 over here, I can just line up with this, square up on it a little bit, run my spikes in, then I can clamp this down so I can hang on to them a little bit better, manage them a little bit better, like so. Even this isn't perfect. Bales can squirrel out of this, but it does make them a little bit more stable. Like just by stopping, they're not going to go tipping out. Sometimes if you have a stack of 4 like this, you stop too fast, they'll just tip over and fall. So that's another tool from the CSZ pack. Let's take a look at that real quick so you know exactly what I'm looking at. It is this one right here, the bale fork with grabber. And there are numerous bale forks that CSZ provides for you. So, and different types of, like this is a round bale grabber, it looks like to me. Never tried it, but you know, try each piece if you want to and see which one works best for you. Now, as far as I'm concerned, and actually I'm going to grab my other tractor for this, from the base game, and I'm thinking specifically of my Ravenport walkthrough here, the best way to manage bales, if you really want to do it neatly and much more easily, is the Arcusin bale stacker trailer. And that's this one right here. It comes in the base game. It has an automated, or it's actually a mechanical automated loading system. And this would be found under baling technology. Right here, the Arcusin FSX63.72. Now, the only drawback to this is it only handles square bales. But like I said, I personally prefer square bales. So from your menu, you would hit B to put this into the operating position, like so. You can see that come down. It is ready to go. Once you hit B, this thing is fully functional. All you have to do is drive up to a bale. Even if it's not set quite the right way, the game will kick it into the grabber and it will load onto that trailer like so. Now there is one minor trick to this. The trailer will not grab a new bale as long as it's got the slide function engaged. So once I grab 2 bales, I can't grab another one while it's tipping up. But once it comes down, it will grab the next bale. So keep that in mind. So this will hold a total of 16 bales. I've gone ahead and loaded it up completely. Once it's full, you can see 16 100% square bales down in the right corner. I'm going to hit B to put this back in the transporting position. And then I can move this trailer anywhere I want to. It matters not if I've got a special storage base, a barn. Keep in mind when you unload these things, you want a tall spot, and I will show you why here in just a second. But I'm going to unload them right about here. That'll work. And for this, you just hit Y, or the unload bales trigger on your Xbox or PS4. I'm on PC, obviously. And what this is going to do is tip these bales up like so. This is why you need a little bit of height. And if I hit Y again, it will drop those bales in that stack. I just pull forward, get away from them, hit Y one more time, and it's going to go right back into transporting position, and I'm ready to go grab some more bales. So this really, really makes bale management and moving much, much simpler. So I think that's going to do it for this tutorial on moving and managing bales. I hope it helps you out a little bit. If it does, please remember to hit the like and subscribe buttons down below. I very much appreciate you coming along for the ride, and until next time, take care.